you. You're talking to me, but I can't hear you. We're live. Why can I hear something on my screen? That's my phone. I don't know why Isaac never told me that. He just doesn't tell me stuff. I've got these massive headphones. Looks like we're live. Nobody tells me anything because I've got massive headphones on and my phone's just blasting. What a good start. Thank you, Isaac. Anyways, we're going to jump into how to make $1,000 with DeFi. It's been a long time. We've been talking about trading. Parker's been doing whatever, boxing apparently. A lot of people actually signed up for this fight, by the way. You've got a lot of people more interested than they should be, which is good or bad for whatever reason.
It could be such a letdown, but we'll see.
It will be. It'll be two monkeys swinging.
David versus Goliath. It's a story as old as time. The hero's journey. It's what they're signing up for.
Does Parker have a boyfriend? Yes, he does.
No, I do not.
Yes, he does. Anyways, let's talk about how to make $1,000 with DeFi. This is the title or the question of today's topic. We're going to get into it. Some people ask about trades. I am trading every single night at 9:30 p.m. Bangkok time, which is 9:30 a.m. New York UTC -5 time. So trading every single night. I'm 7 for 7. 7 for 7, Parker. I'm 7 for 7.
That's locked in. Most traders don't win that much.
Most traders don't win that much. I'm 7 for 7. Yeah. And I've been trading when there's no volume, so tonight's going to be interesting. So 9:30 p.m. But let's talk about DeFi. Parker, Ray, Swart, what is the best way to make $1,000 with DeFi at today's time, at today's prices, at today's coins?
Ooh. To make $1,000 with DeFi, that just depends on, I guess, what your portfolio size is. I mean, if you've got 10 grand, 10% a month, easy peasy right there, man.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? People say that like we're lying, right? Because it can sound unfathomable, right? If you have $10,000, how to make $1,000 per month, it sounds like a scam. It's unrealistic. It's not as easy said as done, right? You still have to have the assets. You still have to manage your range. Isaac, can you please stop moving? Every single day, he's clicking and just distracting me. You have to have the mindset of understanding that this is not going to be easy, but your first $1,000 is how you get to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 and beyond there. Because if you can do this, all you need is a bigger portfolio, right? We've got guys, Grant, we've got guys way less than this. It's all about a percentage kind of game.
Did I lose you?
No, I was just waiting for you to chime in and say something.
No, yeah. So I just filmed a video. It won't come out for like, a couple of weeks because I got a little bit of a catalog going, but I just filmed a video on this. That's like, just because you're in crypto doesn't mean the hard work stops. Crypto is a tool for you to use that you can compound and keep growing this portfolio. But it's not the shortcut people want it to be, where you're just going to take that $1,000 and turn it into millions overnight, right? It's like I've taken the path, like YouTube, right? Like 1,000+ videos, right? I didn't just like get lucky off my third video. It's like I've been just fucking pushing through the trenches, man. So you got to keep working your job, get that income up, and once you have a capital to where 10% a month is meaningful, then you just fucking smooth sailing almost from that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're going to build live examples. Whose mic is quiet? Is it mine or his? Doesn't matter. Nice. We're going to build $1,000 portfolio as if you have coins in this bull run. Okay, we're going to look at coins. We're going to look at different chains. We're going to basically take the majority of people that join our group, coins that they have. I already know what coins most people have, and you do as well. We've done these calls 100 times on how to really shoot for that $1,000 per month. On a 10 to kind of 30K balance, right? Because I just don't want to aim for 10% of like month one. I want to find some safe pools. I want to find some riskier pools. I want to build that overall portfolio just like I would in my HODL portfolio. The DeFi portfolio should basically be, in my opinion, a mimic of what you hold in your HODL bags. We're not here buying SPX 9000 Zora coins like some guys like to do. We're looking at our assets that we already have and trying to monetize them at today's value. You know what's kind of fucked up, Parker? I need to tell you this.
What's that?
Show a trade to make $1,000. See, now I'm attracting all this trading audience, and like my whole audience is going crazy. Trading tonight, 10K clips live on camera. The crypto expert, or the YouTube expert, as you like to know him as, he thinks the bull run's over. Got me kind of sad.
I don't know, man. As people start to lean towards it's over, it's bearish, it's game over, as everyone starts to lean that way. He commented on my channel today. He was like, man, everyone's comments are getting bearish. Well, if retail is wrong 99% of the time, they're probably wrong. It's probably
Can I tell you something crazy as well? BitUnix has now allowed you to trade with 200x leverage.
Oh, there you go.
So they've went from 125 to 200x leverage. Now, our mate, is killing it, but 200x leverage is so fucking crazy. I'm doing 5x leverage, and this fucking thing's going crazy. Can you imagine 200x leverage? It's wild. The reason why I started trading was because DeFi pools can pay for my trading losses. So I would rather take that like free bets. But what you're going to say?
Well, I mean, leverage can just be a tool. So, I mean, I'm not a big supporter of, I guess, trading, you could say. But leverage is a good tool if you are going to trade. Whereas, say you had a 10K portfolio on your trading account, you don't have to buy the full 10K each time. You can just use a couple $100 and then leverage that position to the size that you want. But you know, I'm not the biggest trading guy.
Can you see my screen, Parker? Look at your mate.
It's very delayed, but
basically, the crypto expert made his first 1,000% trade on 100x leverage. 1,000%. I've never seen that.
See how much was put in. Let's see how much was put in, man.
Well,
Where's the P&L shot?
He never shares, so it doesn't really matter. So let's talk about the $1,000 trade, or the $1,000 trade, the $1,000 goal on your assets. Parker, do you want to list me some assets? I'll put some assets on screen right now that I think most people have, and we'll build it from there.
Let's just stick to like top 20 if you want to talk about what most people have. Let's go like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Link, Sui, XRP, I mean, Cardano, those big assets that everyone has.
Okay. Is BitUnix okay to trade in UK with? It has good reviews. Yes. Use it. Join our Discord. It's free. Use my link and pay me 1 cent per trade, and you can use it. But if you want the GG indicator 7 EPS, you can join our Discord. It's probably somewhere linked. Okay. Let's talk about pools. We're going to give you absolutely everything for free here that we would normally charge for, because that's what we do, and the goal for you to make money by yourself, so you don't need to buy anything if you're starting out. That's the best kind of service we can do, and for you guys looking to monetize your assets. Parker, what's your 3 best places to go for DeFi liquidity pools on the coins that we're kind of talking about? I've missed Solana, I've missed some other coins.
For everything EVM, VFAT is my favorite thing to use because it's going to aggregate everything on all Ethereum and all its layer 2 subnets.
Okay.
That's probably the best spot to use if you can only use one place.
And can you explain for VFAT what VFAT actually is?
Yeah, VFAT's a tool that's just going to basically, you have like Uniswap, you have Aerodrome, you have PancakeSwap, you have all this fragmented liquidity in all these different places, and VFAT just pulls all that into one place to where you can see all those different things. It's basically like shopping online versus having to go into each store individually and see if they have what you want. Essentially what's going on.
Okay, so I don't know why our stream is delayed here on my side. It looks like it's delayed big time, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. So VFAT is basically, your one-stop shop, right? If you have assets, most of the time, bar from Solana and Sui, you could go on Orica, you could go on Turbo Finance. VFAT is going to be your next best friend, where most people really are monetizing their assets, right? This is where you kind of want to be. So, with all that being said, Parker, 2 coins or 1 coin you want to mention that we can start looking to shop for that you like currently right now, that's not risky, that's paying that kind of nice percentage?
I mean, a couple of the guys we talked about the other day, just that link to USDC on AVAX was doing a pretty decent APR for what it is. And then something going on over on Monad right now, ETH USDC as well. It's just been a consistent banger right now, just because it's a new blockchain.
Okay, let's look at that link position. I can see it's paying 352% on only 10% range. What would you kind of look for in this?
It's very delayed on my screen, so it's kind of hard for me to know where we're at.
Yeah, I don't know why it's delayed, Isaac. That's weird. It's delayed big time on my side. It's usually never. Okay, I'll build out as we're going forward. So, right now, if you had Link and you had USDC, I want to stay away from USDC at the end of this call. I want to talk about asset to asset. But right now, on Link USDC, with like a 38% width, you can hit that 8 to kind of 10% per limit. So if you had Link and you had some stable coins sitting on the side, and Link right now price action is not doing much as far as I can see, but you could start monetizing your Link. And if you had, guess what, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, and you wanted to full port this, not that that would be the thing that you would do. You start slow, build it up. You could start hitting $1,000 to $2,000 per month on this pool by doing pretty much nothing, which is pretty crazy because you accumulate Link. If you believe in Link, okay, and take this Link for whatever asset you have, because we're going to scale this to other pools or other coins going forward halfway through the stream, that's you starting to build some income on the side while cryptocurrency isn't doing anything. While cryptocurrency is going sideways, potentially even going down, that's how you can start monetizing and getting more Link. Are you sick as well?
No, just a little cough came out. It's all
Okay.
good. It's all good.
Nice haircut, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Nice and fresh.
Yeah, well, maybe a little bit too short on the top, but, you know, it's all right. What is the best to get GBP to crypto exchange? Usually is Revolut, but it's too expensive with fees. I like Kraken Pro.
No Monero. What a shame. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really seen good places to monetize Monero, but maybe it's a lack of me looking for it, to be honest. So if you find anything, drop it in chat. I'll take a look at it at some point.
Okay, cool. So there's your first one.
Do you ever read chat, please? I literally just read your chat. Came in just a second too late.
You're good. So if you had Link, there would be a good pool, but you could start, again, test with $100, get your feet wet, make $10 per month. That would be that 10%, and you're off your go. If you have more, you start to like it, you start to deploy more, and you're now accumulating Link and USDC every single day, every single hour, and you can scale that going on. Very, very simple, very, very blue chip-esque to start. Don't really need to do anything, bar click a few buttons. What else?
Locked in. ETH USDC on Monad, doing pretty good. Another stablecoin pair there, but easy to keep in range. Great for beginners to just experiment and see money coming in.
Is that a pool or farm?
I believe that one's on pools. There's probably farms for it too.
Okay. All chains, Monad. What are you looking at? Okay, there's a bunch.
It's so delayed for me. I'll never see it until it's too late.
You're good. We'll fix that on Thursday. I don't know why it's so delayed. It must be the Ultra. We're doing a new setting here, but it doesn't really matter. So when you go on pools, okay, first of all, Parker, can you explain the difference between pools and farms? For me, there's no difference. You're basically doing the same thing. But for somebody, we get that question quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, for you guys, like how you're going to be operating through VFAT, it's not going to make a big difference. But I mean, the biggest difference is that traditionally in a pool, you're actually paid out in the two assets that you provide. So you'd be getting ratios of, let's say, what pair are you about to look at? ETH USDC, you'd be getting paid in ETH and USDC. In a farm, you're getting paid in a reward token. So APRs can be higher sometimes. You're being paid in this bribe token. So like think of Aerodrome. Even if you provide ETH USDC, you'd be getting paid an Aero token. It's a reward, right? But because we use VFAT, you can kind of choose what you harvest your rewards into. So there's not going to be a big difference for you client side outside of if you wait, let's say, a month to claim your rewards, you'd have a different exposure that your earned money is actually exposed to in that meantime. So if you're earning in, let's say, Aero, and you're not claiming Aero frequently, then you could have a little more price fluctuation than whatever you may think that you have.
Okay.
There was the full answer for you.
Cool. So let's look at Monad pools. You gotta stop coughing, bro.
Maybe I am getting sick.
Yeah, maybe you are. Everybody's sick. I'm sick. Bobby's sick. Everybody in my house is sick. You're sick. You're about to be sick. Yeah. So Monad, again, some crazy fees, and that's just because I'm guessing it's a new chain. A lot of people are coming over here, and that's why you're getting paid very high. There's another way you can do Monad as well. I think Bobby's staking it, where you don't really have to do anything, but the fees there might not make sense to make that $1,000, because I think you'll need like 100K in Monad, which is obviously out of reach for most people compared to maybe only needing, you know, $10,000 if you want to use pools. So that's the kind of difference between staking and using pools. If you know what you're doing, you can capitalize, get more coins a lot faster if you understand how to monetize it with the correct ranges going forward. Monad to ETH or Monad to USDC. I mean, there's so many good pools here, man. If you like Monad, like there's literally
Oh, sorry, man.
Go on.
Delayed for me. I was talking about ETH to USDC on Monad, but yeah, there's tons of options.
Okay. How do I get on in these pools? I mean, we're telling you in real time, brother. We're telling you in real time was the question. How do you get on? Well, first of all, you look at your portfolio. Okay, so ideally you have a portfolio, WH5473. You've got a portfolio. You've already built up assets. Whose phone is buzzing? Parker, sort that out. That's fucking mad annoying. You build up your assets first, and then we come to VFAT, and all we're doing at this stage is we're just typing in our assets that we have. And if we can find assets that have good TVL, that has a good APR, that has a wide enough range, you're then deploying that to a MetaMask or a Rabby wallet, and then you're connecting your wallet, and then you're good to go. Again, test with $100, make sure it actually works first. And once you do that, you can scale very, very fast because you can always add to your pool. You just joined. Cool, man. Cool. No worries, no worries, no worries. That cover Monad?
Yeah.
Okay.
All good, all good.
What's next?
Another pool that I like. I mean, it just depends, man. It depends on what people are looking to hold. I mean, it really is so modular. There's infinite options. I like tons of pools. There's tons of pools I don't even look at outside of helping people because I don't hold those coins. So, I mean, really, it's just easier to pull up the list and just start shopping for stuff and just rip examples from the list.
Yeah, we're going to get more risky stuff in a second, but I want to keep with the blue chip kind of asset kind of vibe right now. If you have Solana, which a lot of people do, and if you have Sui, like a lot of people do, you can use Cetus, but I'm going to stick on Turbo Finance right now. So, Orica is another platform you can do. Fees can depend, right? Depend a lot. Solana USDC, I don't know if it's a play right now for most people, just because fees can be kind of low. And again, asset to stablecoin, I'm not really a fan. But if you have Solana USDC, you can start coming on Orica and monetizing that. And the opposite is the same here for Sui. If you have, Jake is, yes, I am from UK. How much USDC should be had to DC or buy the dips? Could you do Solana and render maybe? You could, but I believe the fees there, last time I checked, are pretty low, Parker, what we've seen recently.
Yeah, Sol Render hasn't been good for quite a while, to be honest, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, like Sol, if you just look here, and this is why it's always good to look, like you get to decide if it's a good bet. Like if I look at Render and Solana here, the volume here is $29,000. It's just never going to pay good enough where you can really start to monetize this, in my opinion. Appreciate. So, Turbo Finance again, could be good for Sui USDC. Parker likes Walrus Sui for whatever reason.
Bro, I'm not even like a big walrus nut. It's just an example I pulled up. The APRs don't look as good as they used to, but for a while they were doing pretty damn good.
Okay. Bitcoin pools. A lot of people have Bitcoin they want to monetize.
Yeah, it's not too bad. There's definitely spots. It's usually a lower APR because the competition's so fierce, just because everyone wants the Bitcoin pools, right? Because you can play with DeFi and you're exposed to a lot less volatile asset, right? It's easier to keep it in range. So competition's high, therefore they pay less. So with a Bitcoin pool, let's say it's Bitcoin USDC, I'm looking for on a good range. Like, I mean, the highest I've seen on a good range is usually about 60% top per year. And then oftentimes it's down like 30% probably.
Yeah.
You're not in a really good chain.
And once you get big enough, like that, promise you that 4 to 6% per month, like Grant, for example, that makes $40,000 to $60,000 on a bad month. That's when you can maybe look at monetizing Bitcoin. But even if you don't like have a huge portfolio, getting more sats, getting more Bitcoin is never going to be a bad bet. It's never ever going to be a bad bet. But that's just what you pay with, right? Or you play with. Bitcoin is obviously going to be less monetizable, and it's going to pay less than your altcoins. And that's just the way. Just like Bitcoin's price won't go as up or won't go as down as much as an altcoin. But stacking more Bitcoin for the long term is never going to be a bad bet, in my opinion. Okay, and it's the same for Ethereum, and it's the same as you start to scale down in terms of market caps. If Bitcoin is gold, then why trade other tokens? Why not trade always alts and Bitcoin? I don't really know what you mean there. Do you know what he means?
Let me read it.
Well, you trade.
Then why to trade other tokens? Why not to trade always alt/BTC?
Well, you're trading. If you're talking about trading or monetizing, I don't really know what you're talking about. God damn it. Bitcoin is obviously going to give you less returns, right? But it's obviously more safe. So yes, you're right in terms of saying, oh, we could trade altcoins. That's the reason why I have portfolio with altcoins in my bull run bag, my hodl bag, because I think they'll outperform Bitcoin. But the whole goal in that portfolio is to buy more Bitcoin, right? Because I believe that these altcoins will beat Bitcoin's return. Okay, so that's the reason. Do
you believe we'll see more pain in the markets in the near future? Do you?
Well,
Batter up. Come on, man.
I mean, I don't really care, man. Like if we're using HODL bags, our HODL bags are there for a reason. I'm with Bobby and saying Q1, Q2, 2026. And if I thought there was going to be more pain, like your mate, the crypto expert, whatever his name is, you know, maybe I would sell. But for me, it's just the risk/reward is not worth it right now, because I'm going to have to sell those assets and now I have $800,000 in cash, and then I have to try and time the market to try and get back in. If we were talking about DeFi on this stream specifically, I would rather just try and use that portfolio to get as much coins as possible. So I feel like I'm at least doing something. If the market is going down or going sideways, at least I'm doing something. I'm not a slave to my portfolio. So that's the best way I can see it, where I don't have to think too much.
Yeah, I mean, same here. I'm set up to where like I don't really care what happens next. You know, I'm not in the business of predicting what's going to happen the next day or the next week. Long term, I definitely can say that I think Bitcoin is going to win over the long term. Like you said, HODL bags. And we're monetizing our portfolios through DeFi each and every day. So if we do get better prices down low, we're DCAing at lower prices. If price goes up, we're still exposed with our HODL assets. So we're in this win-win scenario. However, I do think there is a chance to go down. I'm seeing liquidations that are really starting to stack up down low too. I mean, they've been building down at that 67, as much as it pains me to say, 67,000. There's some liquidation stacking up there, right, since freaking April. So it's a possibility, but at the same time, we're accruing lots of liquidations up top at the 127 to, let's just say, 135K, right? So, you know, either way, I'm prepared. If we go down to 65, are you ready? $67,000, are you ready to buy it? Are you going to have the cash? You're going to have that USDC ready? If we go up to 130, are you bought in now? Do you have some exposure? So you're not going to get FOMO and buy at 130 like a complete idiot, right? You know, so just being in this win-win situation, I think will help your overall mental and emotional health.
Yeah, there's only really three options that you look at with cryptocurrency right now. You either holding cash, like some of our guys do, like Bobby, that sold most of his coins. He's in only 4 altcoins right now. Like the crypto expert that's only trading right now, because he believes we're going to go down, and maybe he scoops up something else. That's option number 1. Okay, you're out the game. You're waiting for maybe potential entries. Number 2 is you're hodling, or number 3 is you're using DeFi with your hodl portfolio to at least feel like you're doing something. That's only 3 options you have. It's quite nice because there's not really another option. You're in, you're out, or you're monetizing. That's the only options you have. Option 3, hodling, doing nothing. It's still fine. You're still in the game, but like you're just waiting. You're waiting, and you're not taking advantage of price going sideways or price going down. Okay, that's the reason why we want to do this video, is because you guys probably have big portfolios or small portfolios, even better, because now you can start to maybe one day make yourself a big portfolio, but at least make yourself on the path to get more coins. Because if you have more coins, when prices eventually go up, you're going to be in much better position than if you did do nothing. And you're not going to feel as bad if the market goes down.
Someone's telling me in chat here that what they say, wrapped AVAX USDC is doing 1,200% for them right now. Might be, man. Might be.
Was that on your black hole shit?
Yeah, black hole. Yeah, under farms.
Let's have a look.
40% wide. It's telling me 3,000%. Well, for me, it's third one down if you're by TBL, Jake. I'm so far behind your stream, I don't even know what you see.
Well, I'm looking at one that's only 1% range. There's one at 10,000%, but that's only 1% wide range. So
stretch that bitch out.
Stretch that bitch out. Yeah. So if Bitcoin goes down to $70,000, will the rest go down 40 to 50%? Well, probably more, depends on the market cap. I can potentially say Sui, one of Parker's favorite coins, probably be down.
Don't do it.
Less than sub 70 cents. That's what I would say.
Very well could happen.
It's 4,008%. I currently own 40 Solana, 3K XRP / render, and 2 Ethereum. Could you maybe show a pill? I'm getting really sick of these pill jokes instead of pill jokes. That would suggest these assets. Okay. 40 Solana, 3,000 XRP, and render, and 2 Ethereum. What do you think?
1 second. I was replying to a comment. Which one do you see? 40 Solana, 3K XRP, and render, and 2 ETH. Can you maybe show me a pool you suggest for these assets? I mean, with the Solana or the Ethereum, easy plays right there is going to be just looking. So if you're on Solana, go to Orca and you can type in Sol and shop around. Sol USDC is probably like the OG easiest one to learn on, experiment around with. Throw a little Solana in there. And same thing with ETH. Go to a layer 2, go to Base Chain, go to Modad, go to Arbitrum, go to these layer 2 spots where it's going to be cheap and you can mess around for like really low cost and play around with ETH USDC. Throw it in with another asset. Like experiment with VFAT and just shop around and find things that make sense for you, that you like. Find what you can pair ETH with. What other coins have you thought about buying that you haven't yet? Maybe you can get a good pool that has both of those, right? So it's just gonna depend a little bit about what exactly you want. But with Solana and Ethereum in your portfolio, it becomes super easy because you just go to Orca, you go to VFAT, and you just start typing and you start looking.
Yeah, what's that worth? 40 Solana? How much is that worth? That's a decent bag, I think. 40 Solana, 3K XRP. 3K XRP is like $6,000. 40 Solana, how much is Solana? That's like $4,000 or $5,000. 2 Ethereum, that's another $6,000. So you've probably passed the 10K mark there. So just looking at that with the showing pools that we've showed you, you could probably be making $1,000 per month right now, which is probably crazy to you if you have that 10K back. There's so many questions there. I don't even want it. Japan interest rate. Yeah, sure, whatever. BTC could go to 70 to 75K. Your thoughts? You got any thoughts on that? 70 to 75K, Japan interest rates? I don't have any thoughts on that.
I mean, if everyone's speculating on that, it'll get priced in before it even happens. So, yeah. I don't know. Again, I'm not in the business of what happens tomorrow, right? If you want to make bets on that and then place leverage trades in, cool. Like that's just not me. That's not how I trade. I'm running a business here, right? It's like I'm running my DeFi pools. I'm going to make X% tomorrow, and that's how I'm playing the game. And over time, as Bitcoin over time goes up, that's how we're going to win here, right? We're winning for sure. We're taking the guesswork out of the equation. So one of the guys in chat here, sorry, Sean, he said that he's been in the SUI USDC pool we talked about in turbos. He's got 2,000 in, and he's making 10 to 15 bucks a day pulling out. Been in range for weeks. So that's $300 a month for him, 300 to 450 bucks a month off $2,000, where he's just. And again, I'm not saying $300 a month is going to change your life, but that's someone right there where $300 a month in cash flow. There's definitely a time in my life when $300 that would alleviate a lot of problems, bro. That's Chipotle for free every day. A bowl's $10, you make $300, free lunch all month, all year, locked in, baby.
I agree. Or you could just join me live on stream tonight and just watch me win 3 more winning trades in front of your eyes. Cash out $10 on $10,000 trades. Boom, I'll take that. So funny, so funny. Yeah, so exactly right. 1K a month feels kind of unreal. And that's just the journey that most of you guys are sleeping on. Just like when you taught me DeFi liquidity back in the day, it was like, there's no way this guy's making it. And once you actually start to look at it with your assets, you start to realize the possibility there. So let's keep this going. Let's keep would you mind sending me a link to the website you guys mentioned? Just type in VFAT. Parker, maybe link that in chat. Because we don't want to
just type in VFAT. Yeah, we don't want a scam to happen.
Yeah, because you got to be careful with cryptocurrency, right? If you're looking at websites, we can't, there's many probably fake VFATs, Orcas, etc., etc. You want to make sure that you're actually on the right links because there's no refunds in cryptocurrency. So let's say you achieve that.
I was going to say, like, so if you already have Phantom and you want to go to Orca, in Phantom's internal browser, if you type in Orca, it should auto-populate that up for you. So you wouldn't need to even trust us for a link. Same thing with VFAT. If you're like, let's say Rabby, I recommend you download a Rabby wallet. If you don't have it, download that. But there will be a spot in the wallet where you can click search dApps. And under search dApps, inside that wallet user interface, you can type in VFAT and it will pop up and recommend VFAT for you. And it will tell you its trust score, like how many people visit the site. It's a popular site. It's listed by multiple websites, right? So it'll tell you all that, and then you're at the right place. So you don't have to go through that Google search process. You can use the tools that are built in your wallets to actually do their job.
There you go.
GG.
Okay, let's move on because we're going to be here all day and we've not got a long time left. Yeah. So let's take this further, right? Let's just say you're doing Ethereum XRP. I just want to just make this super, super simple asset to asset, right? Because there's going to be a lot of people that get to this stage that think about, well, what do you want to do now? What do you want to do now? Okay. And you really don't have to do anything. You could just stick with this, make the 10K or start with the 10K, make the 1K, and now you have 11K next month, and you can just keep compounding this. You can just keep flying this to get more Ethereum and XRP. Okay. If those two assets you liked, there's paying that currently right now. Who has Discord open? Turn that off. That's me. Turn that off. Okay. That's option number one. You can do that. You can keep rinsing and repeating that. If you still like Ethereum and XRP and you're still nicely in range, you can keep doing that. What's the other options, Parker? Or do you want me to take this?
Go ahead.
Okay, that means he doesn't know. But the good thing is, I do know. So option number one is you keep compounding this, you get more Ethereum, you get more XRP. You're not really interested.
Oh, there you are. Just kidding.
You're not really interested about the $1,000, although it's nice, although it's cute. If it was me, and what we typically do is we're trying to get more assets at these prices today. Okay, when everybody thinks the market's going to go down, go up, whatever, it doesn't really matter. I'm trying to get more Ethereum, more XRP in this play as fast as possible, right? And scale this up. So next month I'm making 11,000, then I'm making, I'm at 11,000, I'm making 1.1, 1.2, you get the point. If you can keep that 10%, it's going to change, it's going to go higher, it's going to go lower, you get the point. Option number two is where this can get kind of exciting. Is Arbitrage a scam? No. Maybe. I don't know. The coin? Probably not. Option number two is you scale this to other coins that you could like, right? Because if you just have one pool, or if you just have 2 coins, 3 coins, etc., my best bet is not to spread this out into a million different coins, because you're just going to be doing $10 here, $20 here, $30 here. And it's going to be hard to really scale that up if you're at this kind of bankroll, this bank balance. But when you get to that $1,000 per month, you can start to look at other pools that might excite you. You could take a more riskier one, or you could take a more safe one. You could, again, go for that 6 to kind of 12% per month on Solana USDC. I mean, Solana Render's not an option right now, but let's just pretend it was and the fees were paying good. You now have 2 pools that are constantly paying you more coins. I know you're interested in the dollar value, but you can now have 2 pools that pays for the other pool. Now you have a free pool to keep scaling. The other option is more riskier pools. Okay, this is not advised, not recommended, but this is something you could do if maybe you like a coin that you don't want to risk your hard-earned money. Well, you can take the initial bankroll to use this to funnel this. Then it doesn't feel as bad. For example, I did this on one of his pools that he told me to do, which was, what was it? What's that coin that did terrible?
Oh, Black Hole?
Black Hole. Now, I took an initial Brett and Ethereum pool from back in the day. It made me $48,000. I took 6K bankroll of that, and I made a wide range pool on AVAX and Black Hole. The good news was, even though Black Hole went down so much, that was paying enough in the next 2 to 3 months where I could cover that 6K because I was selling all that to USDC. Okay? Now, if Black Hole does well, that's a caveat to that as well, but I just wanted to get back that as fast as possible because the fees were paying so much and it was a full range pool. The other option I did do as well with that $48,000 was one of our boys in our group, Kyle Zora. Was it Zora Ethereum? Was it Zora? I can't even remember. Zora Ethereum. Okay, yeah, whatever.
Zora USDC. Yeah.
Whatever. So this was a coin that he liked, that he already had, that he brought us onto, where again I could take another $6,000 from that initial pool to scale into this pool. And I think Zora held up pretty well in terms of price. So that's another option you could do to start a free, riskier pool, or you could just keep in the safe pools and just keep that going on. Other option, there's many options, okay? Other option is you just take that $1,000, which might be the play for some people, but I would honestly just try and not do this as long as possible, because I think it's way better to stack assets you like. But you could just take this, buy a fucking BMW on finance at $500, and you could do that. You could buy your food, you could pay your rent, you could do whatever you want to do, or you take this and just buy the S&P. You always want to keep the money going, or you could just do it for lifestyle. The other option is you just buy spot assets you like. That might be Bitcoin, it might be Ethereum, it might be Solana, it might even be Pepe. It doesn't really matter. The whole goal is you now have a $3,000 from this initial 10K bank balance that you can buy every single month with completely free money because you were smart up here and you decided to monetize your assets. Either way, you win every way if you do this right. Because the way right now with $10,000 in Ethereum XRP, okay, well, you can win because these coins go up in value, but we don't know, and you probably don't know with this market, if they're going to go up tomorrow or up next year or up God knows when. That's the only issue with a HODL portfolio at today's market. You just don't know, and nobody knows. You're bleeding. Maybe it's at 9,000 next month. Maybe it's at 7,000 a month after. But what you can do to caveat that is bring in this play if you want. Not that you should do this, but if you want. Because when Ethereum and XRP do eventually go up, because let's be honest, they're going to be at higher prices one day than they are today, that $1,000, here's a caveat to that, is worth way more when Ethereum and XRP go up. Because if XRP does a 2x, 3x, 4x, God knows when, and Ethereum does a 2x, one day it will do that. It's like that $1,000 is now worth $6,000, $5,000 in some day down the line. Fuck, that's so valuable. Is that not the valuablest thing you've ever heard in your life?
I think that's value right there.
And you guys have the formula now to implement this with a click of a button in the easiest way possible. But you do not want to get this wrong by looking at your Ethereum XRP and thinking, well, now I'll just buy Zora or Blackkill because it's paying more. That's where you get this wrong. We do not sell our blue chip assets to chase yield. Very, very important. You can if you want, and you can get lucky, but that's not the goal. On you go. I've done way too much talking.
NFTs, anyone have any interest on the rising? Maybe we'll come back. Every NFT I bought, besides getting us into some parties in Nashville, Jake, outside of that, NFTs have done nothing but lose me money. And
you want to talk about how good those parties were, if you're being honest?
Yeah, they were not very good.
Yeah, there were
some big names there that I think Bobby recognized. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize these were like famous ass people just there on the ice luge.
They weren't famous ass people. They were influencers that caught a pump and then rugged. Okay.
Yeah, crypto.
They were famous for 2 days, like Hot 2 or whatever her name was. That was the kind of influencer.
We sat by her in that one place that I got us into too.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Remember, Joe.
Why don't more people monetize instead of trading? Is it a lack of knowledge or fear and greed? Well,
greed 100%. 100%. There's no other answer. They don't monetize. They trade because they look for that get rich fast. They want to squeeze it. They want to squeeze the $1,000 at 10K every time. It's that story, because you start to, even me, who's doing DeFi and making, let's say, 10% a month, that gets so boring that it becomes your new baseline, new dopamine. It's like when you buy a car, like Jake just bought the Urus, right? After 2 months in that car, it's just going to be a car to him. It's still a Urus to everyone that doesn't have one, right? But to Jake, that'll just become a Urus, right? It's still a flex, but your dopamine gets kind of reset to where that's the new normal. And then he's going to have to buy something even better. What's next, Jake? What's next after that? The
cone is like, it's 3.5 million. I'm eyeing it up. Maybe. 3.5 million. Imagine the next bull run. You know what's funny? We've got a bunch of questions. We need to answer super chat. You know what's funny? Like yesterday, everybody always says, like, I've never took profits, which is right. You know, everybody's always like to me, like, oh, you still never took profits. I've took profits 7 times in the last 2 days with trading. So now nobody can ever say, no, it's funny. Bobby was off his seat fucking laughing. I've took profits 7 times. I've took profits because I entered 7 trades. I went 7 for 7. So I have technically took profits. So nobody can ever say I've never took profits. I've officially now took profits. Not my hodl bags, but on trades. So I don't want to hear, oh, he never takes profits. I've took profits 7 times in the last 2 days. So why don't people monetize? Instead of trading, why don't people monetize? Let's just ignore the trading. Most people don't do this is because you don't know what you don't know. And that's exactly why he was basically my right-hand man back in the day, because I didn't know what the fuck he was. If I was looking at this stream right now and I had no idea what I was doing and nobody showed me this in a detailed way that we've tried to show you here, I would just be like, that is not possible, because why wouldn't I be doing this 2, 3, 4 years ago? You don't know what you don't know. And until you actually do this, okay, we're not telling you to put your $10,000 in. That's all you had. Do this with $100, and then you'll realize, okay, well, that's true. I don't know what I don't know. And once you do that, you're like,
even if you know it's there, there's still that friction and that fear, right? Where, like, I remember when I first bought crypto on the exchange, it's scary to send it to your wallet the first time. I'm sure there's guys watching the stream that still haven't even done that, right? It's scary. It's weird. You haven't done it. It's foreign. Do you really want to move 10 grand across your phone to this little device you're holding over here, right? It's like, it's weird. So there's a lot of friction and fear to overcome to even get to that place where you're now doing these things. You're like, am I about to get scammed, right? Like, learning all the right things, not making mistakes. So there's definitely a lot of friction to it. And then also just like, you know, the drive to actually learn and go deeper down this autist rabbit hole of crypto and like see exactly the beauty of these chains. Like, that's why they're built. This is the actual side of decentralized finance and crypto that is used day to day, versus if you're just on the exchanges buying and holding coins, you're just doing that. You're just buying and holding the coin, nothing else.
Yeah, so super chat here. I don't even know if it's a question. The last 2 days I cashed out my real something. Moving skills. I made $65 an hour. Now it's time to milk all the lazy Jeffreys 2026 and 2027. There you go. Good for you, brother. Appreciate you being here. To use a pool, you guys need crypto on a wallet. Yes, you need some crypto. You need to put assets. If we're looking at VFAT, how do you work with the guys? Well, you can click the link in my bio. You can go to Parker's channel. Either way is fine. But yeah, you need to put your crypto, wherever it is, into a hot wallet and then connect that with VFAT. Very scary if you don't know what you're doing, and this is why we always recommend testing with $100. If you're looking at VFAT, just download Rabbit, put the $100 in there, look at the assets you want to hold, and then just start that pool.
What is the best place to buy crypto? Revolut's too expensive. Again, this is the beauty of actually learning how to use DeFi and be on chain. If you're on chain, for example, if you want to buy Solana or you want to be on Solana, get USDC over there. I know when I use Coinbase, my money is on-ramped 1-to-1 with USDC. So there's no fee to get the stable coin. And I just send that to my Phantom wallet, and I can buy stuff on chain. And I showed this demonstration a lot on our weekly live streams and our masterclasses in our group, where you can buy 10 grand of Solana with USDC on Jupiter, and it costs you like $1 or $2. If you tried to do that on Coinbase, it would cost you like $250, $280 in fees. So if you actually get on chain, you save a lot of money in fees. And the fees you do pay, they go back to the providers that are providing liquidity. And it's this giant circle. It's this literal on-chain economy, which is the whole thing we're talking about. So if you get on chain, you're not going to get scammed by the big boys. Okay. Taking profits with liquidity pools and also buying the dip with liquidity pools. It's not rocket science as far as your liquidity pool is made up of assets you're prepared to hold. Exactly. If you're in the pool with assets you believe in, if you're not just chasing APRs, but it's stuff that you already like and want to hold, you're just DCAing for free. You're just earning more money for free. You're providing that service for people that want to swap. They get those cheaper rates, but the fees they still pay, they go to you. Exactly.
Yeah, and here's some quick wins. We never really do this, but here's some wins from our group if you do want to see what's possible out there. A little bit of a plug, but again, we're not here to sell you anything. We just want to show you that, hey, you can do this by yourself. So I can't remember who these guys was, but this was some guy making $3,800. I think this must be Grant when he started. $3,800 per day, which is fucking crazy on some pools. This was my pool on Brett and Ethereum that I told you before, how I scaled to 2 other pools and more as I start to scale down the line. This made me $48,000. This was Brock cooking some pools. This was weekly rewards, $3,900. There's $4,000 a week, 60K a month, which is crazy. This was Grant here. You can see here back before $459,000. His daily reward was $10,000, Parker. Almost 10K. Again, this is a big boy. Grant there every single day, 2 to 4K USD. Crazy. This was Jesse back in the day making 1K on Sui. This was Oliver that bought himself a Range Rover, which is crazy. What else we got? Oliver again, 95% of his portfolio. Thank you, Jake, and thank you, Parker. A lot of options. There's so many screenshots I could give you, but again, you guys, I want you guys to go and create your own screenshots, but actually take action if you're looking at this and thinking about doing this seriously, because you can do this literally today at a click of a button, slowly but surely, but you get your feet wet and you start to scale from there. So this is a real thing. We've been talking about this for I've been talking about this for maybe 6 months to 8 months, maybe even longer. He's been talking about this for years. And yeah, that's what we were doing. And it's especially good right now at the market, in my opinion.
Takes all the guesswork out, man.
Takes all the guesswork out. And again, the biggest thing for me is it just doesn't feel like you're a slave to your portfolio. It doesn't feel like you're a slave. So,
and it's not a shortcut either. Like, it's not a shortcut. Okay, it's not a get lucky thing. It's work. If you don't have even $1,000, you're not gonna be able to make money with this. It's not a moonshot. You can't put $10 on a meme coin and make $50,000 this way. It's hard work. So like the guy that super chatted, he's got his real life job. He can use that money to invest in pools, and over time that'll compound and create this flywheel where his portfolio will feed itself. And that's the game in scaling that. And once you get to where you're like Grant, where you have a portfolio of that size, the game is it's just like cheat codes at that point. It's just, yeah. You beat the final boss.
You become the final boss if you can get there one day. And again, it's not about looking at Grant. It's not about looking at me. It's not about looking at him. It's about your own journey. It's you versus you at the end of the day. And if you can start doing this to save yourself, maybe one day this does pay for your job. Maybe if you've got a portfolio of 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100K, and you're making 2 to 3K per month, you can come in there and replace your income, still work the job, but you can now have 2 incomes using your portfolio that you're waiting for a hodl back. That's where it gets crazy. Oi, Zins is fucking killing me, bro. I'm taking too much Zins these days, bro. I need to stop.
I'm clean, bro.
You're clean?
I'm clean.
You're looking natty as fuck. But that's besides the point. Okay, we got 9 minutes left. I felt like I've gave you guys so much value in this stream. So is Parker. But that was the goal in this video, to show you guys how you can come in with a 10K portfolio. Again, you guys probably at home, if you have more than 10K, you're licking your lips because you just do the maths on this. Again, slowly but surely, that you can come and we're not affiliated with VFAT. We're not affiliated with Orica. We don't care. In fact, it's actually a worse thing.
If I had an affiliate link for either of those, dude, I'd be fucking cooking.
It's actually a worse thing that we tell you this, because like if you enter our pools, we'll make less. But we don't really mind. We don't. It's actually worse that we tell you this, because we will make less. But you know, if we can do that for the initial guys here, it's not really going to matter down the line. We don't really care.
Essentially, what we're teaching you is how we run our ATM business of people buying assets, and then we teach you that, and then you set it up right next to us. You put yours right next to us. We're like, bruh. So the more we teach you, and the more ATMs that get set up with us, the more competition we have. But again, it's just free value. It's game. There's a lot of people that will watch it, and they won't ever even try. So. For the guys that try, you will be the one that makes the money.
Yeah, last thing I will say on that, like I've always, back when I was like 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old, I always heard of this passive income, like passive income. That's what everybody used to talk about on YouTube, like passive. The issue with passive income, if you're being real for a normal person, passive income doesn't really work. Because if you think about passive income for real estate, well, the big thing is most people, including me back then, didn't have the money to even get in real estate, okay, to get even passive income, let alone make that passive income work, let alone all the other headaches of a tenant, of a property manager, of a toilet breaking down. So that wasn't really an option. And it was an option because I did try this when I started to make some money in e-com. I had a little flat in Hamilton that was making me about £400 a month. And I think it was about £50,000, believe it or not, shitty property, like a little flat that we used to call them, or that they're called in the UK. But that £400, £500 per month, whatever it was, well, it wasn't really net. And I actually lost money in that because the tenant gave me so many issues. And then 3 months later, the tenant was out. The property was just more damaged. It actually cost me more money to run that place. You can make real estate work, but for most people in here with 10K, real estate is not going to be an option. Well, what other options do you have that are passive as can be? Stock market, is that passive? Well, for a hodler, but you're already in crypto anyways. There's no other way in cryptocurrency where you have assets, you can put them to work and earn a passive income. Again, I don't want you to think about the dollar value. You can if you want. I want you to guys think about this, about how many coins you're accumulating. That's what changed the game for me, because if you can get more coins, you're going to make that passive income down the line that you want, where it's not even going to matter, because there's not a lot of options. And if guys thinks trading is passive income, if you watch my streams, it's not fucking passive. I tell you that. I'm trying to lock in, and yeah, it's not passive. So I don't think there is any such thing as passive income. Even this isn't passive. Okay, you still have to do the work. You still have to manage your pools. You still have to know what you're doing. You still have to buy the assets. There's no such thing as passive income. But this is the closest kind of thing. Staking's an option, but again, I'm not really interested in staking anymore because lockups, the fees are not really going to make it worth it. You're going to need about 10x more cryptocurrency compared to pools, because they'll typically pay you 10% per year. If we're trying to make you 10% per month, you know, you're going to make $100 a month of a 10K balance. It's passive, but it's not really in your full control.
You're hitting exactly where my brain's at. I filmed 2 videos yesterday, got them edited up and basically queued on YouTube. And it's exactly those 2 things that you just said that stuck out to me. It's like, okay, the first one was about, just because you're in crypto doesn't mean you don't have to work hard, right? You still have to work hard to get your active income up so that passive income can work for you, right? But then number 2, I made a video about how like the rich use Bitcoin to get richer, right? And I use real estate as an example, where people that buy real estate, to them, it's not about the value of the house as much, like it fluctuating. It's they're getting the properties, they leverage those properties to get more properties, and they rent out the homes to build an active income off the properties. And it's this game where they use the income to get more properties. The value of the properties builds over time, and they get more properties. They cycle liquidity out. It's that same thing with Bitcoin, where a lot of us in our community, we're buying Bitcoin, we're borrowing USDC against it, We're using the USDC as a business loan to open a business, those liquidity pools, and the income that generates just buys us more Bitcoin, and we build more equity, and that value appreciates over time. And then we borrow more USDC against it. And it's just this giant system that is exactly what the rich do with real estate. It's exactly what they do with their stock portfolios, right? It's the same game, and we're just able to play it at a smaller level through DeFi. The everyday person can play that game with Bitcoin, which is pretty damn cool, I think. Real estate is overrated. Yes, sir. A lot of the guys that join crypto and been learning DeFi are old real estate guys that are selling their properties to accelerate and scale their DeFi portfolio, actually.
Yeah, Grant sold, I think, and he was in the process back when I first spoke to him of selling 2 properties. So he was getting out of real estate to do this on Bitcoin pools. So he left the real estate way. Now, he probably made some money in real estate because, again, he's a 7-figure orthodontist in the UK. So high-paying job, probably nice properties. But he was like, fuck this, I'm done with this. Let me just monetize Bitcoin that he had, and less stress. He went to New York City whenever I sent that screenshot on screen there, probably a couple months ago now, making probably more in 2 days, more in his whole real estate property in 1 month, let alone stress-free. So a lot of guys are switching this because he had cryptocurrency. He believed in that long term. And this was another way where he could monetize his Bitcoin on the side while Bitcoin just did what it was going to do. Okay. 3 minutes left, Parker. I'm done talking. If you have nothing else, maybe you do, but that was my kind of point in this video. That's how you can start. We've give you all the tools you need. Hopefully one person takes action. Again, slowly and surely, build it slowly over time. The 10K should not be deployed. If you have 10K immediately, it should be $500, $100. Get your feet wet, add. And then by adding, your pools are going to be adding for you automatically in the background, which is beautiful.
Most of the time, the best thing to do is nothing. People need to chill for the next 6 months. I mean, I agree, man. If you just look away, there's times where stuff happens over the weekend and I check the charts and there was some crazy shit and I didn't know because I wasn't staring at it all freaking day. It's the same thing, man. The more you don't need it to happen overnight, the better you're going to be, right? It's something with buying a home. Let's say home prices crash tomorrow. For those of us that don't have any, we should be excited to get a home if you want to buy a home, right? Or an investment property. But for people that own homes, it shouldn't matter. You shouldn't panic sell your house because the value of it only matters when you're trying to sell. And if you're living in your home or using it to build income, you shouldn't be worried about trying to sell your house, you know? So it's the same game. I'm not worried about trying to sell my Bitcoin. So if prices crash, I'm going to accumulate more and I'm going to use the portfolio that's already making me money to keep doing just that.
Sick. So all that to say, yes, I know, Isaac, what to do. Don't worry. I'm going to close it. Take this. Hopefully by next week or Thursday, whenever we're live, somebody's took action on this and we can get some results. We're actually getting people that have started to monetize, like that guy and say, like another guy we had before. So guys are starting to put this to work. Some of guys are using this. I think it was on, what was it called? AVAX pool that's doing well. A lot of guys are taking action on this. So that is the goal for you guys. Action step, put $100 in the pool, see how it works. And if you like it, add more. With all that being said, I'm going to end the stream because I have to do this now manually. Parker, it's been great. Chat's been great. Somebody take action on this, and we'll see you